Welcome to New Jersey's legislative process Make a Law program, presented by the New Jersey State House Tour Office, Office of Legislative Services. This program is geared towards students and to provide them with a basic understanding of how laws are made in New Jersey. Laws are a set of rules of conduct created by government. Laws provide safety, order, and fairness. But ultimately, laws are meant to make where you live better. The men and women we elect to represent us make our laws. Our government is divided into three parts, also known as branches. The legislative branch makes the laws. The judicial branch interprets the laws. The executive branch enforces the laws. Each branch has its own power and responsibility, but is also affected and limited by the other two branches. We call this a system of checks and balances. Before we go any further, let's review some key terms. Legislator. A legislator is an elected official who represents the views and concerns of the people in their part of the state. Legislature. The legislature is the branch of government that makes new laws and changes old ones. Constituent. A constituent is a person a legislator represents. We are all constituents. Veto. A veto is the rejection of a bill by the governor. The legislative process is how ideas become law. There are three key elements in the legislative process: debate, negotiate, and compromise. We do not all agree on which laws will make New Jersey a better place. Why not? Well, we all live in different parts of the state. We have different issues that we are concerned about. We have different ideas and opinions on how to resolve those issues. We come from different cultural backgrounds. We are simply all different. But we have a process that allows us to come together with all of our differences, to discuss our ideas, to make a decision, and to move forward. It's how our laws are made, and it's called the legislative process. Our state is divided into 40 legislative districts, and everybody lives in one. Each district has approximately 220,000 people. Per district, there is one senator and two members of the General Assembly. The legislative map is redrawn every 10 years after each federal census, which counts every person living in the United States. The legislature is made up of two houses. First, the General Assembly. The General Assembly is headed by the Speaker. There are 80 members, and there are two legislators per district. The Senate is headed by the Senate President, and it is made up of 40 senators, one legislator per district. Legislators come from different backgrounds and experiences, but in order to be a member of the General Assembly, you must be at least 21 years old and live in New Jersey for at least 2 years prior to the election. To be a senator, you must be at least 30 years old and live in New Jersey at least 4 years prior to the election. All legislators must live in the district they represent. The General Assembly chamber was built in 1891, and it features 80 desks arranged in a semicircle facing the podium. At the top podium stands the Assembly Speaker. At the lower podium stands the Assembly Clerk. The Senate chamber was built in 1903. 40 desks are arranged in a semicircle facing the top podium. The top podium stands the Senate President. At the lower podium stands the Senate Secretary. What is a bill? A bill is an idea for a law. Anyone can have an idea for a law. Citizens, interest groups, lawmakers, the governor, even you can have an idea for a law. But only a member of the legislature can draft a bill and start the legislative process. A bill can start in either house, but must be passed in both houses. The bill must go through a series of steps. The first reading, committee consideration, second reading, third reading, final passage and vote. If the bill passes each house, then it goes to the governor for approval. The legislator who directs the writing or drafting of the bill is called the sponsor. The first reading occurs when the bill is introduced during a legislative session. The General Assembly clerk or the Senate secretary reads the bill's number, sponsor's name, and title. The Senate President or the Assembly Speaker will then refer the bill to a committee. Committees are small groups of legislators who evaluate bills, their impact, and discuss their details. Committee meetings are open to the public so that citizens have an opportunity to voice their opinion about each bill. In New Jersey, there are 29 General Assembly committees and 20 Senate committees. If the committee votes to approve the bill, then it is reported back to the House where it is read for a second time. The third reading is scheduled by the Senate President or General Assembly Speaker. The bill's title is read for the third time, debated by the legislators, and then voted on by the entire membership of the House. During the debate, a legislator must ask permission to speak from the presiding officer and may only speak 3 times. In the General Assembly, a member may speak first for 15 minutes, then again for another 15 minutes, and then finally for 5 minutes. In the Senate, a member may speak first for 15 minutes, then for 10 minutes, and finally for 5 minutes. Members use a set of buttons on their desks to record their votes in the electronic voting system. The name of each legislator, their vote, and the vote total are displayed on the large digital screens. In the General Assembly, each member has 4 buttons on their desk. Green is yes, red is no, yellow is to abstain, and an abstention is when a member wants to be noted as present but is not going to vote yes or no at that particular time. And then the white button is to speak. In order for a bill to pass, it must receive a simple majority of yes votes. In the General Assembly, there are 80 members. Half of 80 is 40, plus 1 is 41. In the Senate, there are 40 senators. Half is 20, plus 1 is 21. So in the General Assembly, you need at least 41 yeses, and in the Senate, 21 yeses to pass the bill. If a bill passes each house of the legislature in identical format, then it moves on to the governor. The governor has many options when a bill crosses his desk. He may sign the bill. If he signs the bill, then the bill becomes law. He can take no action. If he takes no action, then after 45 days, the bill will automatically become a law. He can issue an absolute veto. An absolute veto is when the governor rejects the bill. He can issue a line item veto. The line item veto is when the governor rejects single line items or dollar amounts in spending bills. Finally, the governor may issue a conditional veto. A conditional veto is when the governor returns the bill to the legislature with his changes. If the bill receives a simple majority vote in both houses of the legislature and the governor signs the bill, it officially becomes a law. A law takes effect on the day specified in its text or, if unspecified, the next July 4th. Hope you enjoyed this presentation of how a bill becomes a law. For more information, please visit us at www.njstatehousettours.org.